What the?
Post-apocalyptic movies, my favorite genre, and honestly one of the best for people who want a little bit of everything in one film. You get action, drama, survival, mystery, all packed into one world that's already ended. We're counting down some of the best post-apocalyptic movies you can find on Netflix. A Quiet Place. In A Quiet Place, sound means death. Humanity has fallen to blind creatures that hunt by the smallest noise, and one family fights to stay alive in total silence. Directed by and starring John Krasinski alongside Emily Blunt, every creak, whisper, and heartbeat becomes a weapon against them.
Who are we if we can't protect them? We have to protect them.
This movie doesn't rely on jump scares. It builds fear out of absence, turning quiet moments into pure anxiety. One of my personal favorites and a true modern masterpiece, A Quiet Place is minimal, brilliant, and one of the tightest post-apocalyptic thrillers you can stream on Netflix right now. Bird Box.
Listen to me. We are going on the trip now. It's going to be rough.
In Bird Box, an unseen monster drives the world to chaos, turning anyone who looks at it into madness and death. Amid the collapse, a mother and her 2 children must travel blindfolded through rivers and forests, chasing a faint hope of safety. Sandra Bullock leads this tense psychological apocalypse where vision itself becomes the enemy.
People describe seeing an entity that takes on the form of your worst fear.
What are you looking at? What did you see? What is wrong with you? Please stop it!
What's brilliant about Bird Box is how it weaponizes imagination. You never see the threat, yet it owns every frame. Director Suzanne Bier shot large parts of the film in natural light to make the world feel uncomfortably real, almost documentary-like. Sandra Bullock performed most of her river scenes truly blindfolded, crashing into trees and rocks during takes, which gives that tension its raw edge. It became a viral phenomenon, with Netflix reporting over 45 million views in its first week, proof that even the simplest idea can grip the entire world. Bird Box remains one of the most unsettling thrillers streaming today. Greenland.
Where's Dad?
We'll find him. It's okay. Clark's largest fragment will hit in less than 24 hours.
Sometimes the end doesn't come slowly. It crashes down from the sky. In Greenland, a massive comet fragments and begins raining destruction across the planet. As panic spreads, one family fights to reach the last safe zone, a secret bunker in Greenland. Gerard Butler stars in this grounded, emotional survival thriller, where every second counts and every choice decides who makes it to the end of the world.
Let's go.
But the sky's on fire.
What makes Greenland so gripping is its realism, made with full cooperation from the U.S. Air Force, even filming at Robins Air Force Base using real military personnel, pushing the tension far beyond the average disaster movie. Despite the chaos, it stays focused on emotion. A story about holding your family together when the world literally falls apart. With powerful characters, brutal stakes, and stunning scale, Greenland remains a compelling addition to any post-apocalyptic watch list. Love and Monsters.
The day of the monster uprising was the day I lost everyone.
7 years after the world was wiped out by mutated monsters, Joel Dawson is one of the few left alive, stuck underground while the surface belongs to creatures the size of buildings. When he finds out the girl he loves is still alive 85 miles away, he decides to do the impossible. Leave his bunker and face the nightmare head-on. Every step outside is a new kind of danger, each monster a reminder of how far the world has fallen. Love and Monsters stands out because it never treats the apocalypse like pure destruction. What started years earlier under the title Monster Problems finally came to life when Dylan O'Brien stepped in, mixing humor and heart into a world crawling with monsters that feel alive. Each designed with practical effects and VFX that earned the film an Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects. It's fast, weirdly hopeful, and one of Netflix's most rewatchable apocalypse stories. World War Z.
Back in your car right now! Remain with your feet!
When a mysterious virus sweeps across the globe, cities fall in hours and governments vanish overnight. Brad Pitt stars as Jerry Lane, a former UN investigator pulled from his family and sent back into the chaos, racing against time to find the source of a pandemic, turning people into something far worse than the undead. From rooftop escapes to massive city stampedes, World War Z never slows down. World War Z went through one of the wildest productions in Hollywood. Massive rewrites, reshoots, and a completely new ending. But somehow it worked. Brad Pitt's company, Plan B, produced it, and they pushed for realism over gore, which is why the chaos feels so tense and believable. The scale was insane. Thousands of extras, practical stunts, and full cities recreated for the film's global outbreak scenes. What started as a project in production trouble turned into one of the highest-grossing zombie movies ever made, proving that big-budget disaster films can still hit hard. The Midnight Sky.
3 weeks. We've lost contact with NASA and everyone else.
It's just a glitch. You really believe that?
In a dying, radiation-soaked Earth, one man stays behind in the Arctic to warn a returning space crew that humanity has been wiped out. George Clooney stars as Augustine, a scientist racing against time and the frozen wasteland to send a signal before it's too late. Above him, a small team of astronauts drifts unknowingly toward a planet that can no longer sustain life. The story jumps between isolation and hope. One man on the ground, one crew in orbit, both trying to survive what's left of humanity.
Coming back from a planet that we hoped would be our future. I have to contact them before it's too late.
Directed by Clooney himself, The Midnight Sky is one of Netflix's most ambitious sci-fi dramas. Part survival film, part space odyssey. The visuals are stunning. Real Icelandic ice fields stand in for the Arctic, and the space sequences were shot with immersive LED backdrops instead of green screen. Critics were split on its pacing, but few films capture loneliness this beautifully. I Am Mother.
The world outside is lifeless. But I made you into the woman that you are, so that we could do this together.
After humanity's extinction, a robot known only as Mother raises a human girl inside a sealed underground facility, designed to rebuild civilization from scratch. The girl grows up believing she's the last person alive, protected by her caretaker's calm, mechanical voice. But when a stranger from the outside world appears, her carefully built reality starts to collapse.
Daughter, I know you're frightened, but you have no need to be. Have I ever done you harm?
I Am Mother takes a minimalist approach to the apocalypse. Almost the entire film plays out inside one bunker, with just 3 main characters. The robot itself wasn't CGI, it was a real suit built by Weta Workshop, the same team behind The Lord of the Rings. With smart tension, sleek visuals, and strong performances, it became one of Netflix's most surprising sci-fi thrillers. Army of the Dead.
Find the safe. This should be a simple in and out.
After a zombie outbreak devastates Las Vegas, the entire city is sealed off from the rest of the world. Years later, a team of mercenaries is hired to go back inside, not to save anyone, but to pull off the ultimate heist. Before the government wipes the city off the map, led by Dave Bautista, the crew battles their way through hordes of evolved, intelligent undead in a high-stakes fight for survival and fortune.
It's a goddamn zombie tiger. That's crossing the line.
Zack Snyder went back to zombies, but this time he turned it into a heist movie. It's simple. Get in, grab the cash, and survive the city before it's blown to pieces. He shot it himself with a rough handheld style that gives everything a raw, chaotic feel. It's not about story or meaning, it's about the ride. Army of the Dead is the kind of movie you watch with friends, switch your brain off, and just enjoy the madness. I.O.
The world we once called home appears to have turned against us. The fundamental principle of nature is survival.
In a near-future Earth poisoned by toxic air, most of humanity has escaped to a space colony orbiting Jupiter's moon, Io. Only a few survivors remain below. One of them is Sam, a young scientist, trying to find a way to make Earth livable again. When another survivor arrives, she's forced to decide between staying to finish her work or leaving the planet forever.
I saw dozens of people starve to death because of hope. I won't make the same mistake twice.
When do we leave?
I.O. is quiet, slow, and more about people than the apocalypse. The name comes from Jupiter's moon, which sounds cool until you realize it's covered in lava. Basically, the last place you'd ever want to live. So instead of escaping to paradise, this story flips it. Everyone leaves and one person stays behind, still thinking Earth's worth saving. It's small, calm, and maybe not for everyone, but it's a good pick for fans who enjoy slow burn sci-fi with more questions than answers. How it ends.
All communication
communications are down. The government is silent. We don't know who or what is causing this.
A mysterious disaster strikes across the country, and every major city goes dark. With no communication, no answers, and chaos spreading fast, a man sets out on a cross-country drive to find his pregnant fiancée. He's joined by her father, a hard, old-school military type who never liked him. Together, they push through roadblocks, violence, and collapsing order, trying to reach her before the world completely falls apart.
She's alone, 2,000 miles away, so I only have one question for you. Are you coming with me?
How It Ends came out as a Netflix original and looked like a classic road survival story, but with no clear explanation for what's actually ending the world. It stars Theo James and Forrest Whitaker, who carry most of the movie's tension through arguments more than action. The film was shot almost entirely across Canada, using real highways and wrecked sets instead of CGI. It's a grounded, stripped-down apocalypse film, perfect for fans who like realism, tension, and quiet end-of-the-world chaos.